species 150 years ago, and ever since then we've gradually been filling in the details, and now it's absolutely certain that Darwin was right, and we now essentially understand why we're all here, what life is all about, what is the meaning of it all. It started with Darwin, but we've been building on it ever since. Now, I know that a number of people have difficulties with understanding Darwin's theory of evolution and with accepting it, with believing it, and I'm here to answer your questions about it if you have some. But I'd like to begin by asking whether any of you have some thoughts of your own, some opinions that you'd like to give me. We might even make a list on the board of ideas that people have, and that'll give us a sort of framework to talk about when we get started. Yes.
Do you find it a bit coincidental that this planet was in the exact right position, had the exact ingredients to make life?
Okay, that's a very nice point. Shall I write that down, or can we all remember that? I think we can remember that. What were you going to say?
Can you still believe in God and evolution?
Okay, thank you very much. Shall we have one more point and then we might start talking about those? Or shall we just start now? Yes.
How does the evolution add to the meaning of life? What does it tell us that meaning of life actually is?
Okay. Now the first question was, isn't it a bit of a coincidence that everything on this planet is exactly right? Yes, it is. Let's approach this from a slightly different angle. If it wasn't exactly right for our kind of life, then maybe it's a different kind of life that would have evolved here. Remember that life adapts through natural selection to fit the conditions in which it finds itself. And so, to some extent, you can say that if there's a planet in the universe that's capable of housing any kind of life at all, then it's the kind of life that will evolve on that planet, that can evolve on that planet. So if, for example, there's a planet that is very much hotter than ours, then the kind of life you'd expect to evolve would be life that's suited to a much, much hotter climate. So it's no accident that our kind of life is very well suited to live on this planet, because this is the planet that it's evolved on. Having said that, life itself has changed this planet a great deal. For example, this planet is now filled with oxygen, and we all have to breathe oxygen. But there wasn't any oxygen when Earth started. All the oxygen that's free in the atmosphere has come into the atmosphere because of plants and photosynthetic bacteria. So life has actually changed the planet, and life has also accommodated itself, has also adapted to fit the changed conditions. Originally, when life evolved, it was anaerobic. Have you heard that word? It lived under non-oxygen conditions. And later, when the plants filled the atmosphere with oxygen, life gradually evolved so that it no longer treated oxygen as a poison, which it would have been originally, but actually started to adapt itself to live in oxygen, until now we absolutely need oxygen. We can't do without oxygen. Now the second question was
about God and whether we can believe in both.
Can you believe in both God and evolution? Lots and lots of scientists do. And moreover, lots and lots of senior religious leaders believe in evolution. So if you were to talk to the Pope, or the Archbishop of Canterbury, or just about any bishop you can think of, you'll find that they all believe in evolution. They all, of course, also believe in God. And they will have various things that they'll say. They might say that maybe God started the universe off, and then evolution took over later, or something of that sort. There are some people who think that, of course they believe that evolution is true, because it obviously is, but they may say that God helps evolution along sometimes. Maybe there's some little difficult steps in evolution that God assists evolution. I don't believe that, but there are some churchmen who do believe that. And there are some very respectable scientists who are religious. When I say respectable scientists, they of course believe in evolution, because all respectable scientists do believe in evolution, but they also believe in God. And the third question was?
How does evolution put into the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life if you're...
What's the meaning of life on an evolutionary worldview? One thing to say is that The universe doesn't owe us any meaning. It could be that there is no meaning of life, and if so, that would be just tough. I don't think that, because I think that we can all make whatever meaning we choose to make, and each of you will have plenty of meanings in your own life. You'll be enthusiastic about some things, maybe some sport you play, maybe some books you read, maybe your love life, maybe your family life, maybe some of you love nature, some of you love music. These are all individual meanings that you can give to your life. That doesn't mean that life itself has one special meaning. It doesn't mean that we are here for any particular purpose, any more than mountains are here for a purpose or rocks are here for a purpose. Rocks are just here. Rocks just happen, they are here. Mountains just happen, they are here. There is a sense in which life is just here. Life came about through the evolutionary process. But after billions of years of evolution, life forms arose that had big brains, big nervous systems, and we've got the biggest brains of all for our size. And so our brains are capable of developing purposes of our own. We, with our big brains, can think of our own purposes. We can aim at things in life. We can have a grand design for the whole of our life, which is the privilege that we enjoy because our brains are so big. And the reason our brains are so big is that evolution gave us big brains. Over a very, very long period of time, the brains of our ancestors got gradually bigger and bigger and bigger until they eventually became so big that they're now capable of enjoying music and poetry and mathematics and love and all the things that give our lives meaning and give our lives our own individual purpose.